say you need to answer three things that you need to take care. The questions are, where are you now? Where do I want to go? How do I get there? So where are you now? You should know. Where do you want to get? It's the vision that you have. How do you get there becomes your strategy. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm not the best person to tell you how do you get there, but let me share some of the secrets or some of the success factors which got me here. Because I started my career. So today, topic Saranga clearly told to speak about the career development or how I can inspire you to achieve your career development. So I started my career at 19 and I complete 30 years of experience. So by now I have told you my age. And I will tell, I started as a medical representative, and I'm happy to note that today I have arrived as a CEO, and how some of the factors which had helped me. So my question then was, where was I then? And where do I want to go? And how did I get there? Very simple. For me, my success factor, I can put it in 7 words. The 7 words are: 1, vision; 2, passionate; 3, plan and prioritize; 4, change and adapt; 5, make sacrifices; 6, take risk; 7, integrity. Just 7 words I can put into that 30 years and I can tell my whole story. And now being in Toastmasters, I need to tell this whole story within the next 28 minutes. Let me see how best I could do that. So let me start off with vision. So at the age of 19, when I decided, or when I got through, I did bioscience. And then in 1990, the choices were not like today, where today you have multi-speciality. Then it was either you do commerce, maths, bio. I was studying in the Tamil stream. Unfortunately, the school that I went had only 2 options for me, bio or in maths. I chose bio, got through my 4 subjects, got through, but not good enough to do medicine. I decided I'm not going to study anymore. I'm not going to repeat. I'm going to work. The options were either I can become a banker, or become an accountant, I think most of you all are, or be a marketer. For some reason, I chose the third one. Then between marketing, consumer marketing, medical marketing, I saw flashy guys, just like doctors, speaking to doctors. Okay, medical reps, it looks nice. Going in a car at the age of 19, I can't ask for anything more. Good package. So I thought, let me try. Researched a bit. I found in 1990, Glaxo were number 1. Lanka Medical, which is Sunshine, the place that I work for, was number 3. Hemas were number 2. So I thought I'm going to get into one of the 3. Luckily for me, the paper advertisement those days, it was Sunday Observer, where you got to hunt for vacancies. And when you keep reading, I think the Sunday Observer runs into hundreds of pages, and all the vacancies are listed down. Now, not Top Jobs or LinkedIn was unheard, or we didn't have mobile phone for that matter in 1990s. So luckily for me, there was this trainee medical rep vacancy came. I applied, went for my first interview, got selected, went for my second interview, got selected. To cut a long story short, in my third interview, there was a questionnaire which asked, what would you like to be when you reach 40? It didn't take much time. I wrote on that, I would like to be a managing director. And when the questionnaire was perused, I saw in one of the panel, I would not name, a little bit of sarcasm or a laughter. Ladies and gentlemen, believe me, that was my trigger. That interview moment was the moment of truth for me, because I felt intimidated. I felt that I was insulted. And the feeling that I got was, hey, this Podian fellow, how is he going to be a managing director at 19 age? He's writing like a big shot. And that really put, and from that day, I thought, come what may, I'm going to achieve it. So ladies and gentlemen, my number 1 point was having a vision. My number 1 mantra, have a vision. See, big organizations do have vision. Countries have vision. You take Malaysia, you take Singapore, any nation, they have vision. This is what I want to be. As individuals, why are you not having a vision? So at young age, please have your vision. And I always say, if you don't have a vision, don't even wake up. Tomorrow morning when you wake up, it should be the purpose to live your vision. Otherwise, sleep. Press the snooze button and sleep. Press it again, or don't keep the alarm. So whatever you do daily, should be towards achieving that vision. So have a vision. That's my number one mantra. Going on to number two. So I need to go shift gears fast, and I can talk for a day of my 30 years life. I can talk for a month of my 30 years life, but I'm going to do it for the first time in 30 minutes. Number two is being passionate. Once you have your vision in your mind, you need to be passionate. You can't live your life for your mother. You can't live your life for your father. You can't live your life for your spouse, your girlfriend, your husband, your wife. Because if you live for someone else's wife, you're not going to enjoy it. And when you don't enjoy it, that's the time you keep pressing that snooze button. You press snooze, you don't want to wake up. Press snooze, hey, someone else is like, I'm not motivated. But when it's your vision, when it comes from your own heart, that's the time you come like a fire, get on out of the bed and you go for it. So be passionate. I have heard, being in the medical profession, I have heard doctors at the age of 45, 50, they say, I wish I didn't become a doctor. I wish I was a teacher. My profession, I wish I did law. But I asked, sir, madam, why didn't you do that? No, then my parents pushed me to this. And I had to do, because they were doctors, they wanted me to be a doctor, I became a doctor. So when you have a dream, when you have a vision, you own it. It should be written in your heart and you should live it. If you do that, you'll be passionate about it. And when you're passionate, you do things likingly. When you do things likingly, you are happy. When you are happy, you're motivated. Your productivity goes up and you are going towards your vision. So my number two mantra is being passionate. My number three mantra, plan and prioritize. When we wake up in the morning, if it's you, me, the richest guy, the poorest guy, we all have 24 hours. And if you take the to-do list, there are 200 things. And we never go to bed achieving all. I'll mark you, when you grow higher and higher, your list goes up. When you marry, your list goes up. When you have kids, the list goes up. When you have another kid, the list goes up. When you have to take care of your parents, your list goes up. So the number of things you need to do never comes down, it goes. So what you have to do in that 24 hours? What am I going to do in 2021? I have 20 things to do in 2021. What are my top three priorities? What are my top three priorities for the next 5 years? You need to plan and prioritize. Prioritize means I have 200 things to do today. I am doing the top 15. I have 20 things to do for 2021, but I'm going to focus on these 5. That is planning, prioritizing. And always there's an opportunity cost. In my words, I say opportunity cost is an opportunity lost. I'm sure you all know what is sunk cost and opportunity loss being in the finance trade. So always look, what are you sacrificing? At the age of 20 for me, once I had a vision, I'm going to be a medical rep. That's the young age. My friends were partying, they were going to cinemas, they were going on trips. And what did I say? Instead of said, that's not my priority, I went for CIM classes. I was studying in the evening. I attended lectures. Those were my priority. Why? I had a burning vision. I need to achieve this. If I don't achieve it, of course, so prioritize. So when someone's priority was cinema, my priority was going to class. When someone's priority was going to the gardens or loafing around, or it was the evening setamol, I had different priorities. So number 3 mantra, if you want to achieve your vision and if you want to be successful, please plan and prioritize. Not only planning, you have to implement, prioritize. Between many things, you got to take a choice. Hey, out of these 4, I'm going to do. Don't be unhappy. Hey, I missed it. No, it was your conscious decision. Nothing for you to regret. So when you have 2 options, you select one. There are times in life you have to select between 2 people. I hope you would not be pushed into that corner. You have to select between 2 people. Those who are getting married or will get married, at times you will have to choose between the mother-in-law and your wife. What is your priority? Tough call. Tough call. You got to take. One is going to get upset, right? But you got to take the decision. You can't be satisfying and balancing role. It's going to be tough. You're cheating yourself. Somewhere you got to draw the line and take a choice. So that is what I call plan and prioritize. My number 4 mantra, change and adapt. Easily said than done. I have friends who, if they don't get the chair in a dining room, you get a chair, a corner chair. Some people, if they don't get the corner chair, they don't come and eat. They go back and until the chair is vacant. I ask, are you eating the meal or eating the chair? They can't change, but people so think. Some people need the chair to read their Sunday newspaper, but you lecture on change and adapt, how to make a change. Come on, you can't read a newspaper changing your chair. Some people can't sleep on another bed, and we lecture for changing. But in life, if you are achieving your dream, there are a lot of instances you need to change. In my life, at 22, I got married. I'm a Tamil Hindu. I'm married to a Sinhalese Catholic. Different race, different language. Just imagine the things I have to change and adapt. I go and say, do it Tamil way. She comes and says, do it the Sinhalese way. Get married in a Hindu temple. Get married in church. Where do we draw the line? I'm happy I'm married and I know her for 32 years and I'm living my life for 27 years married. Why? Change and adapt. Change and adapt. People talk big, migrate. They give in Australia, not even 2 months, they start crying, Mama, I remember Sri Lanka, Mama, I want you. Can't change, different culture. Right? So if you are pushing for your dream and when you go, how many people are crying for COVID today? How many more work from home? Right? When did I last time deliver a lecture like this? Saranga would have come and I would have been talking physically at a much more louder voice. Not like talking to a computer where the home people think, but this guy has gone crazy. We are changing, right? We never used the screen like this. Change and adapt. Today we are complaining, right? COVID, COVID, COVID. Why are we complaining? Adapt, can't help. That unseen virus to the naked eye had changed not only yours, mine, the entire world. We are wearing the mask. Our lifestyles have changed. Change and adapt. Move on. Come on. How many days you are going to sit and cry? This is life. Move on. So change and adapt. So you will be faced. When you go on your life journey, you will be faced with a lot of obstacles, a lot of challenges. You need to change and adapt. It may come in different forms and shapes. So my number 4 mantra was change and adapt. Number 5, you got to make sacrifices. I told you already. So those days people were having fun. My sacrifices, I worked during weekdays. And there was a time, so in planning, I'll tell another point. I thought up to 25, I'm going to do my diploma in marketing because I don't have my degree. I told you I didn't go to the university at 19. I wanted to complete my CIM diploma in marketing by 25. 30, bang, I want to do my MBA. As a result, I also became the youngest head of the department at the age of 30 at Hemas Pharmaceuticals. At 30, I want to do my MBA. See, 5 days I work. I have 2 little children. And Saturday, Sunday, I do my MBA. Sacrifice. So sacrifice even at the cost of being with your own 2 little kids. Right? So that is sacrifice. I'm from Kandy. I work in Colombo. Of course, I can find a job in Kandy. But I chose Colombo because the opportunity to suit my skill and the dream that I want to achieve are in Colombo. So I shift every Monday morning. I come to Colombo, get back to Kandy on Fridays. So there's a sacrifice. After being married, I spend my family time only during the weekend. And when I did my MBA, I did it at University of Peradeniya. Not like these ANC or ACBT or ICBT MBAs, which you finish it in 1 year. This MBA took 2 years and my research took 3 years. And that entire 2.5 years, I remember, I work 5 days, come on Friday night, and Saturday, Sunday, full time inside University of Peradeniya. Sunday night, I come back, and Monday morning, get back to Colombo. Sacrifice. So this is something I underwent because I know that MBA is going to help and upgrade myself. Because I didn't have my degree. I had a burning vision. Somehow I'll do something in a state university. Simply because, again, it's another dream which I had because my parents were graduates. My sister is an architect. Brother is an engineer. And I, as a kid at 19, I came out. I decided to work. To add to it, I got married at 22, had my son at 23, daughter at 25. So there'll be people thinking, hey, he didn't do his degree because of that. I don't want anyone to pinpoint. So I thought I'll go to a state university, and at the age of 30, I did my MBA, and that had sacrifice. Like that, there are many, but that was one point. So my number 6 mantra is that you got to make sacrifice. Number 6 mantra is take risk. People are afraid to take risk. People are afraid to face fear of failure. I always say, take risk, take calculated risk. I started my life at Glaxo. As I told you, I joined Glaxo. I worked there for 10 years. From a medical rep, I rose up to category manager. Beyond that, I didn't see myself growing there. And I got my diploma in marketing, now CIM. I decided to apply out and I went to Hemas. When I went to Hemas, people said, you are used to Glaxo, you won't work there, you won't survive there even for 7 days. But I went there to Hemas as a country manager, which was an uplift. At the age of 30, I became a country manager. And as I told, I was one of the youngest country manager at Hemas at that time. By the way, I'm boasting a little, but I'm telling my story because these were my mantra, which I achieved, and one of them can work for you. And the people who told me I won't last there for 7 days, I worked at Hemas for 10 long years. So shifting there was a risk. I took a calculated risk for my career growth. At the age of 40, this is where I want to achieve my dream. I worked for 10 years as a country manager. Being a country manager at Hemas, it's a very comfortable job. Good salary, good vehicle, good allowance, good freedom. Hemas is one of the best places for work culture. After working for 10 years, at 40, I realized, long time back when I was a kid, at 19 years, I wrote, I want to be a managing director and I'm a country manager. And I'm in a very comfortable position, me, my family, everyone. Am I getting what I wanted in life? Or should I continue? You are in that comfort zone. Then that's the time Mr. Dhammika Parra purchased Delmage. And it was, Delmage was making losses. Headhunter of him called me and said, there's a healthcare sector CEO vacancy. Would you like to take it up? From the start itself, I knew Delmage is not a healthcare company. I knew my seat is going to be hot. This is something even before I know I'm making a wrong decision. So one of my quotation is, if you believe in yourself, you can make even your wrong decisions right. People wonder, hey, what is that? I'll repeat. If you believe in yourself, you can make even your wrong decisions right. People say my marriage was a wrong decision. I made it right. Shifting to Delmage, people told it's a wrong decision. I made it right. It's all up to you, your attitude. Either you can find 100 faults why you couldn't do it, or you can find 200 reasons why you can do it. So coming back, so I accepted the offer. Nothing else, simply because I want to get into that CEO seat. I know if I stay at Hemas, it's comfort, money, everything is there, but I'm missing that career development. Of course, I didn't become a managing director, but at the age of 40 plus, I got that CEO vacancy. And I thought I'm achieving my dream. Hey, this is what I wanted. CEO means you are responsible for the entire sector. There were 4 divisions at that time in healthcare, rather 3. I created another one. So there was pharmaceutical, there was medical equipment, there was a separate Alcon own entity. Plus, after going there, I even created a personal care. So there were 4 subdivisions within the healthcare, and I was the CEO responsible for the profit and loss. And that MBA, which I learned, when I learned my MBA at Peradeniya, I was cursing. Hey, I'm a marketer. Why should I do all this profit and loss, balance sheet, cash flow? I hated it. But when I become that CEO, that learning helped me. My sacrifice that I made. Sometimes we used to curse when I did my P&L. And if I don't get to the cent, that lecturer marked me wrong. Fair enough. Balance sheet has to balance to the cent. You know it better than me. And I, being a marketer, I didn't know a ball about it. But he got me to balance, and the lessons that I learned, it seriously helped me to do my job. The business law that I learned when at the age of 32 in my MBA, it helped me to do my job as a CEO. So that's the risk I took. It worked. And after working at 4 years, I came back to Sunshine. I got a break, because when you do well, the industry looks for people who are doing well. And today I'm at Sunshine, which is a number 2 healthcare company, and I'm continuing my journey. And my 7th mantra is integrity. When you live your vision, I always say, in school, we may cheat our teachers. Some people, when you're married, you may cheat your spouse. You can cheat your parents. You can cheat someone else, but never in your life you can cheat yourself. So have that integrity among you. Never cheat yourself. Have that integrity. Once you are committed for your vision, have that vision. So, ladies and gentlemen, these were my 7 mantras which I took you through. I repeat, having a vision for yourself, being passionate about it, plan and prioritize, change and adapt, make sacrifice, take risk, take calculated risk, and be true to yourself, that integrity values. So these were some of the mantras which took me, and I'm happy. I thought I'll take 30 minutes. In 20 minutes, I was able to take you through the whole story of 30 years, how from medical rep in snapshots, I was able to take you through. So this was my message. And since we have time, Saranga, I hope we can have a discussion, or if you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer, because we can make it a discussion. And to conclude, I wish all of you all one thing, and this time I quote Stephen Covey, who always said, live, love, learn, and leave a legacy. When you leave an organization, after 10 years, people should talk about it. Hey, there's a person. I'm so happy at Glaxo still people talk about me, but I did 10 years there. At Hemas, people talk about it. And same way, when I die and go, or when you die and go, people should be talking, hey, he was a great guy. He did this. So let me wish you all the very best to achieve your dreams and to live, love, learn, and to leave your legacy. Saranga, over to you, or Toastmaster, over to you. And if there are any questions, we can spend some time on that.
Thank you so much, Sandan. So for all of you guys, I explained this to the role players before the meeting. So if you guys have any issues, any questions regarding to your career, picking up with what is best for you, if you have any doubts, if you're like blocked at some point and you don't know what to do next and what path to follow sort of scenarios, please raise your questions, because this is like once in a lifetime opportunity, and Sandan is a very, very generous coach who gives out everything that he has. And as Toastmasters, when it comes to Chanel, myself, so